All right. Welcome, everybody, to another virtual session of 1 Million Cups Bentonville. Thank you for joining us virtually from wherever you are, whether you're out in the rain, dropping the kids off at school, you're sitting at your office, or you're still at home brushing your teeth. We're glad you're here. Glad you're tuning in, however you're tuning in. My name is Caleb. I'm the Director of Marketing and Events for Startup Junkie, but a proud 1 Million Cups Bentonville organizer. For those of you who may not be familiar with 1 Million Cups, maybe this is your first time tuning in. 1 Million Cups was created on the notion that entrepreneurs discover solutions and engage with their communities over 1 million cups of coffee. So hope everybody has their coffee this morning or have drank their coffee this morning and are caffeinated and ready. The Kauffman Foundation out of Kansas City developed 1 Million Cups in 2012 as a free program designed to educate, engage, and inspire entrepreneurs around the country. Through the power of volunteers, 1 Million Cups has grown to more than 160 communities. So the premise is you can go into another community across North America, more likely a major city. You go to that community, want to plug in with their entrepreneurs, you can do so via 1 Million Cups. As a program of the Kauffman Foundation, 1 Million Cups works with entrepreneurs, empowering them with the tools and resources to break down barriers that stand in the way of starting and growing their businesses. This morning, we have with us Olga Khokhryakova, founder of SameSport. SameSport is an inclusive two-sided marketplace of sports and activities for people with and without disabilities. She first founded SameSport in Moscow and has brought this great concept to Arkansas, and we're excited to have it here. We're excited to have her with us this morning. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to you, Olga.
Thank you, Caleb. So nice to be here. Good morning, everyone. Yes, so my name is Olga. I'm a social entrepreneur from Russia, and currently I'm studying at the University of Arkansas, finishing my second master's in health promotion. And I'm ready to share about SameSport with you. Okay, so SameSport. So I'm a founder of SameSport. It's an inclusive community of sports and activities for everyone. And the story basically started many years ago in 2014 when because I'm a huge fan of sports and also a very curious person, I visited Paralympic Games in Sochi in Russia. And, this was an amazing atmosphere of the sports, great event in the whole country. So I didn't want to miss it. And I went to see how it's in life. And I actually discovered the whole world of sports that I have never seen before. Paralympic sports, or sports for people with disabilities. And being a journalist this time, and also a person who loves sports already, I was surprised why I have never seen it before. So after I came back to my native city of Moscow, I started talking to, just researching information, talking to organizations in the area, trying to figure out what kind of sports and what kind of sport clubs we have in Moscow. And I discovered that there are actually a lot of them. So here are just several examples to give you some idea of examples of adaptive sports, sports for people with disabilities that we have in Moscow. So there is blind soccer, and this is one of my favorite sports. There is a sledge hockey. It's a type of Paralympic hockey. Goalball, also for blind people. There is adaptive skiing, wheelchair basketball. This is a picture from Arkansas, but it's a very popular sport everywhere. And also even such extreme sports as go race karting. Like here.
Olga, let me pause you real quick. If Jacob's listening, Jacob, will you pull our slides up, please? Sorry, we got a technical difficulty. Jacob, are you there? Well, we'll get this figured out. I'm sorry, Olga.
No problem.
All right, what I will do is I'll text him and I'll let you continue to talk about SameSport, and we can get those slides pulled up in a second. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Now we're good. We're good. We can see them now.
Okay. Perfect. I can talk about this, all my life. So I'm happy to go through the pictures again. So here is the several examples of Paralympic sports, and not only Paralympic, in general sports for people with disabilities that we had in Moscow and have, and some of them are here as well. So here is the blind soccer, adaptive skiing, goalball for blind people, sledge hockey, wheelchair basketball. This photo, as I mentioned, is from Arkansas, but it's popular everywhere. And also extreme sports, as here, a guy with a dog. So he's one of the blind activists in Moscow, and he's the founder of karting, like go-kart racing competitions between blind people. This is an amazing type of sport as well. So the problem was that just there is a informational gap, and nobody knows about these locations, even though they exist. And this makes it difficult for people to get engaged in sports. So what I decided to do as a journalist, I decided to collect information about existing locations in one website. And this is how SameSport RU was born, SameSport like database of Moscow. This is a screenshot of how it looks like currently on the Russian website. On the right side, you can see the city of Moscow and numbers, amount of locations we have now, almost 100, a little bit more. And on the left side, we collected and created profiles because many of those organizations never had online presence. So we created a description, took some pictures, contact information, how to join. And also there are free filters, type of disability, type of sport, and location in Moscow, because Moscow is super big and some people are looking something close to their home. So this was the basic project I launched several years ago in Moscow. Then here, being almost 2 years here in Arkansas, I brought my concept here with me, decided to see how the situation with information and availability of information about adaptive and inclusive sports is here. Also, I met my co-founder, even in a pandemic, she's now in Russia, but we still met just because I was a participant of Russian Deaf Language Marathon, and she was an instructor, and we were talking about who is doing what with our lives. And we found out that we both are extremely curious about sports, and we believe in power sports to be much more than just exercises and just entertainment. We believe really in power sports to make change. And so together, now we are working on this project with, it was 11 difference in time at some point when she lived like further from, not in Moscow, but further in Russia. And now we have 8 hours difference in time. And all this time we're working together to use sports as a tool for social change. And not only we believe in sports, United Nations also recognize that sports is a tool for development and peace, for promotion of tolerance, respect, for empowerment, and also as well health, education, and social inclusion. So in SameSport, finally, we are having the mission to promote those inclusive activities for everyone, and we connect different people in this united community through this universal, as we say, universal language of sports that everybody can understand. And this is something that can be used with different populations. It's not just only about people with disabilities. We just started with this population, but in future we hope to develop SameSport and make it accessible, and make it a platform that unifies different people from different backgrounds. So as I mentioned, now we start with population with disabilities, as it was in Moscow, and here with the customer discovery I've done here during those last years with the support of University of Arkansas and our social innovation program. So the problem actually is the same here. So we have in Arkansas a huge population of people with disabilities. Almost every third person has some type of disability, and this is just statistics about adults. And next, we see that actually nationally in the US and specifically in Arkansas, and the same situation is happening in Russia and Moscow specifically. So people with disabilities are almost twice less active than people without disabilities. And this, researching as a health profession student here with my master's, researching the reasons why it's happening, why people are not engaged in activities and physical activities in general, on the same level, I found a lot of information why it's happening in research. So one of the main reasons is lack of awareness, and this specific problem is what we're tackling with SameSport: lack of awareness and informational gap between people and opportunities. So finally, SameSport in Arkansas, samesport.org. This is a separate website specifically for Arkansas. This is an inclusive marketplace where we collect information about sports and recreational activities available for people not only with but without disabilities as well. So comparing to Moscow project, we also upgraded platform from just platform for people with disabilities to inclusive platform where we collect information about all types of activities available so that people can just choose what they want. Because creating something separate only for people with disabilities, we found it not inclusive, and we didn't want to solve one problem and worsening another problem. So how does it work? I will show how does it work with the actual website. So samesport.org. This is the website. Here, the main part is projects. We just launched actually this website in January. So there are just 4 projects, and we hope that with your help will be more. We'll need information and more locations to publish there. So for example, you can see here more filters comparing also to Moscow website. There are filters of type of sports, those that are available now on website. Type, which is what I mentioned, inclusive for everyone with and without disabilities. Adaptive, which is only for people with disabilities, and non-adaptive, only for people without disabilities. So we are just providing information. Everyone can choose what type of sport he or she wants to do. Also, there is professional recreational level, type of disability, diversity, if a person is looking for something specific, age, children, adults, and if it's available or not online. And then we can see how the profile looks like. For example, let's see University of Arkansas Wheelchair Basketball Club. On this part, we have those filters, which I just showed, how they are applied in this specific profile. We have a description, how, like what's going on, how it works, price, information about prices, schedule, and contact details, which person can see how to join, together with some more photos. Also, we have news. So now, as we just started, there are some news about the project that we launched, that we have been alumni of Clinton Global Initiative University. And also we have stories which we are preparing thanks to amazing volunteers from University of Arkansas who are helping me with this website. So we are going to write stories about local organizations, local initiatives, people, athletes, just interesting stories about the community. Okay. So this is how it works. And I also find important to tell about theory of change. As a social entrepreneur, I feel this is my first focus. So in terms of theory of change, as I mentioned, lack of awareness is one of the problems why people with disabilities are not engaged in sports. So we are tackling this problem, and we believe that if people with disabilities will learn about opportunities, they will join the clubs. And then research also shows there are a lot of outcomes of engagement in sports and physical activities. Of course, it's about health, mental health, and physical health, also about quality of life, socialization, many, many things. But also what is important for us especially is a reduction of stigma. So sports, through popularization of sports for people with disabilities, we aim to reduce stigma towards disabilities. And this is a short kind of overview of our journey. As I mentioned, I started from Paralympic Games when the first idea to do something around adaptive and inclusive sports came to me, and then living with this idea for several years and coming up with this informational database I had in Moscow. And I was lucky to participate in several international exchange programs with this project and this idea. And in 2019, as I mentioned 2 years ago, got the Fulbright scholarship to study health promotion, to understand better how to put some theory and research under the project. And also last year, we have been participating in Clinton Global Initiative University, actually with the idea to launch SameSport in Arkansas. And now we are here. Last Friday, we had the official launch event. So it was amazing to see so many people from all over the world supporting our initiative. And also, there is an important part of people, not only our team, but also advisory board that supports us all the way from the very beginning, when it was hard to believe that, what we are doing is important, because it is an entrepreneurial journey when you sometimes feel that, you're not sure that what you're doing is right. So thanks to our advisory board, this is my professor and mentor, Director of Social Innovation, Dr. Ahelio, from University of Arkansas, and also Mr. Register Paralympic silver medalist and amazing alumni from University of Arkansas as well, who is a great speaker, and he's promoting also inclusive sports and equity in sports. And also with your help, we as well, we hope to continue developing project and also make it better. So we have two kind of calls to actions for sport clubs, organizations working with adaptive, non-adaptive, inclusive sports, just with sports in the area. There is a short form, I can also put it in the chat. If you feel it, we will receive information and can add you to the database. And also for the community, just let us know about existing locations, about your perspective. How do you think we should make it better, change the project? Maybe, it's very helpful all these years from SameSport Moscow to SameSport Arkansas. We already changed a lot. So this is just a part of the process, and we are super ready to change anything that is needed to make it better, more user-friendly, and just helpful. And also spread the word, please. So sports, as I mentioned, a tool for change. So, and the language for everyone. So let's do sports and be united around sports. Thank you.
Awesome, Olga. That was fantastic. I'm excited about everything that's coming with SameSport. There's kind of a few second delay between us here and then what people are seeing on Facebook. So I'll go ahead and ask the first couple of questions. In addition to, the help of the community spreading the word, what are some of the ways in which you're planning to spread the word about SameSport in Arkansas?
Yeah, so we are planning several things. First, I'm going to sit down after the launch of the project. That was just Friday. I'm going to sit down and write the strategy. So one of the digital strategy, of course, we want to use Google and just digital marketing, social media, and search engines to, with the keywords to promote the project. Then also, University of Arkansas and volunteers that are helping us, they will help us writing stories about specific organizations and people, and storytelling, we all know it's super important. So this is also one of the ways. And participation in all available opportunities, to talk about the project like today. Thank you for that. This is also super important and super, super helpful for us.
I can definitely see where the storytelling part, for those who have had the opportunity to participate, would be incredible. In the comments, it's not a question, but it's a statement. Jason says, "I'm so glad to see a website that offers inclusion in its platform."
Thank you.
And I have another question and if you have a question for Olga, please drop it in the comment section of the video stream, and we'll ask live. I was also going to ask, what are your thoughts about, I guess, the lingering hesitation possibly involved with, I guess, COVID? Do you think that you'll see an uptick in participation as, that kind of dissipates?
Yeah, it's interesting, like COVID, especially for sports, it's been a hard time because, many clubs were closed and still closed. At the same time, everything, brings some opportunities. And for example, with SameSport this year, even with a lockdown, without basically sports clubs available, we've done such a great progress because we had time to sit down and to really to plan, to think about everything, to talk to people, because everyone was so open to talk. So what I'm saying is that everything has both sides, and I think that we'll step by step coming back to physical presence, but also maybe more, I don't know if it will happen here, but some locations are also starting with online programs. That's why we added an online filter, which I would never think about doing before COVID, but now we have online and offline availability. And I've been participating in some even clubs in Russia. I love Krav Maga, for example. I'm doing Krav Maga here, and in summer I've been doing Krav Maga online with my Russian coach, and I was like, oh my God, is that possible? So I think there are, a lot of things are available more than before COVID, and as a crazy optimist, I'm always seeing good sides of that.
I guess then I could see where that online availability also expands the reach and the opportunity to reach more people than you probably would otherwise.
Exactly, yes.
Morgan has a question in the comments. She said, are there any existing clubs or groups in the area that you've learned about or are working with currently?
Yeah, so I would say from my perspective, as I can see now, the biggest player is Special Olympics Arkansas. So they have a lot of programs during the year, but also there is this the one that we already have in our database. Ozark Adaptive Sports Association. This is an amazing guy, Sean. He is launching actually those Paralympic type of sports, which is wheelchair basketball and wheelchair rugby. And he also just starts, and he also was hit by COVID because his plans were to start before, and then he had to delay. And now he's going to start his programs in Springdale. So this is an amazing opportunity that also is launching now. Yeah, there are some other type of sports. I would not say that there are a lot of them, but still. I hope also with a project with, making this all more visible and creating basically what SameSport is doing, creating this community network, maybe I would like to hope that more clubs will appear.
Martha has a question. She says, what NWA event groups are you going to be involved in this year? You might reach out to Arkansas Support Network, supports.org in Springdale. A great group for including families of those with physical challenges, and they have a run roll event at Lake Fayetteville every year.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I have been talking to Arkansas Support Network. They helped me a lot during customer discovery. So this was basically, I started with talking to organizations working with people with disabilities, not necessarily with sports, and just asking what is that about sports here, what's going on, what are the challenges, are there a lot of sports, and what types of organizations you can recommend me. Yeah, so, and I think what is important for SameSport is to engage people. So I don't want to be, I don't want to be like the head of the project. I want to make this platform and to make it available for the community, to add locations, to connect, to give comments. So my idea is to facilitate this network rather than just, literally with our hands and our small team do everything. So this would be amazing. And I think it's a great idea to reach out to the groups in Facebook with local communities here. Thank you.
Absolutely. What is your favorite sport that you hope to see being active in Northwest Arkansas SameSport?
Okay, so in general, me and my colleague, we counted that we tried 33 types of sports together, of adaptive and non-adaptive and inclusive. But here specifically, first, I love Krav Maga, and I love the club here in Fayetteville. This is just like my family. I don't know, every time I come here, I feel super welcomed. Also, I've been a part of wheelchair basketball club at the University of Arkansas, also with amazing manager and coach and Rob. And if he's here, I send him my highs. So this was an amazing, because in the University of Arkansas, it was very inclusive. It was just 1 hour on Wednesday. But the people who are coming, usually the same people, and the majority of them were not with disabilities. So this was so inclusive and so cool. And this was a really very, very good example of inclusion, especially in the university, context, because we don't have official Razorback professional team and wheelchair basketball, whatever other sports. But this was a great example of inclusive sports in the university inside of that.
We need to work on getting Coach Musselman to endorse the platform. Arkansas. If we don't have any more questions in the comments, you've already touched on it in your presentation, but I'm going to ask you again. You might have thought of something. The final 1 Million Cups question is always, what can we as a community do to help you, Olga?
Yeah, I feel I really want, as I mentioned, I really want it to be a community effort, not just my project. So if there are several options. If you just don't know how you can help right now, just text me on my email and we'll figure out. Also, I really need more information about existing sports. So as we grow the database, the impact would be bigger, and this is something that really would be much more easier if just one person gives us one location or something like that. This word of mouth that works now, if we collect all the information from those people on the one website, then everyone will have access to this knowledge. So this would be amazing, just sharing with me, not necessarily all the details, but just saying, hey, you know, this is a great club. This is their website, or they don't have a website, but this is the contact of their manager or coach or whoever, and we can contact and just really organize this curated database.
Awesome. Well, you hear that, everybody. I will put the website and her information in the comment section of the video feed, and you're encouraged to reach out. Olga, thank you so much for presenting today. We were glad to have you and excited to see what comes with SameSport. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, tuning in, asking questions. We appreciate you for tuning into 1 Million Cups this week. I'd like to thank Jacob behind the scenes, who's pushing the buttons and moving us in and out and making us look very professional and high tech. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.